Hi, my name is Amy Z, and I am making this video 10 months out of my double mastectomy, which I had on July 26th. The purpose of this video is to share with other people who are either about to go through this or are in the middle of it, or possibly where I'm at 10 months out. The first thing I want to say is that it's taken me 10 months to talk about it. Second thing I want to say is that it's a very unique experience for each person, and all the things I'm talking about are obviously in reference to myself because that's what I know about. And I just want to kind of go through the journey because for 10 months I felt like I was no longer part of the world, and I was very, very, very depressed. I didn't have an interest in things. My physical body was really in the process of healing itself, and it really made my regular self and I'm just going to call it my pre-cancer self. My pre-cancer self is someone who's very energetic and someone who likes to do a lot of things. I loved hosting. I'm an Orthodox Jewish person, and I would have a lot of people over for Shabbos, Shabbat, the day of rest, and also on holidays. It gave me joy to have people and to socialize. I'm going to tell you my story as this unfolds. I'm just trying to start it. But, I'm just someone who likes to be involved, and I am pretty gregarious usually. And when I got this, it really affected my personality, my lifestyle, and I do believe I have some understanding of why it was so difficult for me. And I'm putting this out there because, like I said, other people might be in this and having this and have no hope. I mean, I'm sure some people have hope, and I'm sure some people have strong support systems. So one of the things I didn't have was a strong support system. I'm not dogging anybody out. I'm just saying I'm not a married person, so I didn't have a spouse. I didn't have a boyfriend or girlfriend, not like that. Okay, at that time to go through this with me. And even though I have some relatives that live in the state, my mother and my two brothers, my mother is a senior and she lived 45 minutes away. She did try the best of her abilities, and I will, like I said, I'll try to get into details with everybody. One of my brothers, who's a little bit closer in age to me, 16 months younger, I just believe he wasn't emotionally able to handle it, and that was part of the reason why he sort of zoned out. And he tried his best, but it wasn't enough for me. That's all I'm saying. I'm not blaming him, and I'm not angry with him for that. It was just awkward, and these things happen when people are very sick or diagnosed with cancer. Everybody acts a little bit differently. And then I had my younger brother, who's at least 15 years younger than me, and he's very young, and it was great when we saw each other and spent some time together. But again, he was very positive. He and I have our own special connection, and I don't think he let me down. I just feel that he's very busy with his own life, and he's trying to do so many things that he did the best he can. And I'm saying everybody did the best they can. I'm saying everybody did the best they can. It just wasn't enough to help me. I needed a lot more. And everybody has different needs. And then I have friends. Okay, this is the situation. I lived in New York from most of my adult life, and I have really nice, great friends there in New York. And those were girlfriends. two or three of those girlfriends were amazing. They obviously couldn't be here every day because they're in New York, but they would really text or call or email me every day, checking in, how you doing, how you doing? And that was really, really helpful. It did make me feel like somebody cared about me and was rooting for me and understood that I was not myself. I have another special friend who moved from New York to Colorado, and she came out here during December, and she helped me with a lot of things, and that was so amazing. And she also gave me really beautiful cards and said really nice things, and that was amazing. Unfortunately, I live in Los Angeles, and I don't know and I don't understand, but a lot of my girlfriends here, I've been in this neighborhood for 3 years, but I was very social, but a lot of the women they just kind of zoned out. I don't really know. They weren't supportive. That's all I have to say. I can get into more details later, but they kind of disappeared off the scene. And fortunately, again, as I said, my brother's really close in age to me, and I became friends with a lot of his friends. So there was 3 guys who were like angels. You know, each one helped me at a different time, and it was like amazing. But they were guys. I'm not saying anything. It's still hard to talk about all my emotional stuff or the physical surgery since it was breast cancer. And I'm not saying other people are more open and can talk about these things, but as I mentioned, I'm an Orthodox Jew, and part of us is being modest, and I just didn't feel so comfortable talking about my actual, that kind of thing. But I would talk to them about other things, and some I didn't even talk about the deeper side. I was just so happy to see them, and 2 of them would bring me salads and food for Shabbat, and they were like, these people are angels, and I love these people forever. And there was another guy who took me to my appointments and would check in with me, and these people helped me get through it. My video isn't to dog anybody out, as I said. My video is to let people know that if you're a friend of someone who has this, please don't ignore them. Try to call them, try to visit them, try to check in with them. It's a very, very hard thing. And I mean, yeah, I've seen some videos of superstars who, after their surgery or 6 weeks out of it, they're feeling great and they're, I don't know, doing all kinds of things. But for me and someone with my background in exercise and blah, 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 it took me 10 months to talk again. And I'm just saying, beyond it, like, I'm a very honest, candid person, and I love to talk, and I love to have conversations, and I'm involved with everything, and I'm just starting to be, quote unquote, on the other side of mastectomy, and I'm going to be writing a book about that too. This is just my video. I'm just starting it. I want to talk about some of the nutritional things that I've incorporated, my exercise that I've incorporated, some of the, in the beginning, what it was like, which it was horrible. Some of the choices I made in terms of painkillers or not painkillers, some of the things I think people, social services and medical organizations and doctors should do or try to keep in mind. And as I said just in the beginning, I think it's very, very difficult for a single person because you don't have somebody else making these calls for you if you need help, because you're so sick and tired you can't do it yourself. You really can't. And my mother, actually, we were talking last night, she had ovarian cancer, and she was single at the time too. I mean, she was widowed, and she and I talked, and she had the same experiences. Like, she called a couple of agencies and tried to get help, and she wasn't able to get the help she needed, and it was very difficult. Her son, who's the younger brother, was like only 14 or 15 at the time, and that's you know, she can't completely rely on a 14 or 15-year-old to help her. So I'm positive that people who have, let's say, someone who is really able to be there for them and help them through this, it's probably not as horrible as an experience. And I'm not trying to be like, oh, poor me or anything. I'm just saying that I think we all know, and medical practices believe, that if you're happy and have a good frame of mind, you're able to heal faster. And I'm not saying, you know, I wasn't, and I didn't have a good frame of mind. I didn't have enough love or support to really kind of cheer me up or take me away from the pain and all the limitations I've had. I mean, I've never had so many physical limitations, because obviously the mastectomy affects your core, and so many other secondary or bad things happened to me because I could barely walk. I could barely carry anything. I couldn't carry any groceries. When I first came out of the hospital, I could barely pick up a pint of water. I mean, it was extremely difficult, and like I said, again, you know, I know all these things. I tried to prepare myself. Everything said, keep watching things that make you laugh, blah, 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 be happy, that'll help heal. It took me a really long time to even try to do some things. I was really suffering, and I'm making this video. I want to kind of go through it. I'll be more organized, hopefully. I just want people to know that there's hope and that you will get through this. And even if it's difficult, I'm going to try to tell you some things that I did that helped me. And hopefully you could share this with friends or something, because I don't know. I didn't really know how to tell my friends what I needed, and I was weak. It's hard when you're so weak physically or emotionally to ask people for things or ask for help, and I couldn't, you know. So maybe you could share this video with them, and then they can help you with the things you need, and you can heal faster, and maybe it won't be such a bad experience. And maybe it's not bad for some people. I mean, there's some positive people and they have a lot of support, and maybe everything else is going good in their lives, or this is the first time they've had something. And it's like, you know, I know I'm saying there are people that are able to do this. I wasn't one of them. For me, it was the worst experience of my life. But the positive thing, which is what I'm saying today, and I'm going to end this in a minute, is that you will eventually get through it. And for me, it took 10 months, and you'll feel like yourself again. This past week is the first week I've been feeling like my pre-cancer self, and I'm finally happy. Like my mom said, this is the first time I saw you smile, and that's true too. And I'm feeling happy again. My normal disposition is happy and positive and trying to do things and change the world and be good and do good things. And, you know, I'm very interested in things, as I said. And so when I couldn't be that person who is myself, it was really hard. Anyways, I will now end the first session, and we'll talk more soon. Thank you for listening. Hope this helps.